Hello, let's hear another person speaking about the property tax in New York City and the lawsuit, Tax Equity Now, we have to be careful about.
Commissioner, thank you so much.
Yeah, there they go, giggling.
No, I'm good.
Oh,
Ralph Yosa.
no more questions for Mr. Williams, and he seems to be okay.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to read the description on the website
You can see all of them leaving for Jamani Williams.
that the Commissioner talked about. Reform and make it fairer, simpler, and more transparent, while ensuring that no reduction in revenue to fund city services. So my question is, right now, the budget, the tax levy, which is the word you guys use, but it means all the tax that we are all paying, was $8 billion around 2000. Now it's $28 billion that we as a group pay into the system. So this, while ensuring that no reduction in revenue used to fund city services, does that mean that the increases have to include the increases too, right? It's not like we're staying at 28 billion. You and us have to keep paying at this 6% rate or the rate of growth there, correct? Right. So that means that everyone here is going to have to pay a lot more. And we have to be careful here because I have the Office of Management and Budget tax levy and tax shares document right from their from their revenue budgeting document. And the truth is, Class 1 is paying very little compared to commercial property and compared to co-ops and condos. So the more we complain, and the more likely this Tax Equity Now lawsuit is going to force more tax on Class 1. I don't know if everyone here is Class 1, but I have Class 1 property, and we have to be careful because we may get what we're asking for, we may get it, and we won't like it. So my other question has to do with an idea, solutions, right? Everyone that qualifies for STAR, which STAR is a state program that both has an income limit and owner-occupied requirement, is Class 1. So that would solve the co-op and condo problem, right? Phase out co-op and condo abatement over 10 years, phase in the 6% assessment over 10 years for all the people that qualify. And then phase out 421A and the hundreds of other abatements and exemptions that exist today. You wouldn't believe how many exemptions and abatements the developers get, right? There's hundreds of them. It's not just 421A, that's the one you hear in the news. I just want to add that we also should, I'd like to have another round if anyone, is that depreciation is not accounted for in our system. So we in Bed-Stuy have shells of houses, 60-year-old houses or 100-year-old houses that have never been repaired, and then we go to repair them and we get socked with 125% property tax increase. We already have a law for the Sandy victims, right? It's right here. I have it in my hand. The special damage for severe storm. Well, we should do the same thing that Philadelphia does, that many cities does. That you're fixing your own house, you should get a tax automatically. You shouldn't have to qualify for it, right? You're fixing anything that's permitted in Philadelphia, you automatically get an abatement. So I think that we, the people, the commission doesn't have much authority. All they can do is advise, right? We, the people, have to get involved and help the commission do things because they can only advise, but we, the people, can do more. And that's
Thank you.
And for transparency, I just want to say that anyone who wants these documents, the class share that shows the history, I have plenty of copies. It shows the history and why we have to be careful.
Thank you. Thank you. Faye Patton.
This is just very dangerous. And we have to listen to John Procida, who said that 100% reassessment is going to be very dangerous because we're going to push commercial property in with residential. We definitely don't want that. The only thing we might want is class 1 property gets balanced out again. Reassessment of just class 1 within class 1. And co-ops and condos, really someone should help them because it's outrageous what's happening. This abatement and what is it now? The co-op abatement happens afterwards, so the whole thing is just a giant mess for co-ops and condos. I think that's why they have all these abatements, co-ops and condo abatements. But those are not even done correctly because these co-ops are taking the money that comes back and don't give it back to the co-op owner, right? They just assess the co-op owner whatever the abatement is. So anyone who wants to hear about these things, we have seminars. Co-op, go to tony.brooklyncoop.org and look for seminars. We'll have a weekly seminar online about this. It's very simple stuff, but they want to make it as complicated as possible so that you can organize. But obviously the internet can help us, and the information is your friend and the truth is your friend. So just go to tony.brooklyncoop.org, join the mailing list, whatever you think, voice your opinion, get on whatever social media that makes sense. But I think a mailing list makes the most sense because that is stable. People will be using email for a long time, and these social things come and go, and there's, it's hard to, but we need a small group of core people and then a large group of voters that will vote these people out. These commissioners, just musical chairs back into the government, so they're getting their 200K salaries or more. And you don't expect them to tax NYU because some of them are from NYU and some of them benefit from NYU. So this whole thing is kind of a circus, but you as a voter can vote your council person out and your assembly person out and get the Speaker of the Assembly out. And that will wake them up because that's what happened with S7000A. Stanley Fink was fear of his seat, and that's why he listened. And we have to listen to John Procida. I wish we could get him to talk about this. Anyone who knows John, please let him know we need him. Thank you.